Hello, welcome to today's class. Our topic today is loops with Rey and BB-8. It is a plugged activity on the Code Studio. But first, what are loops? Listen attentively to the overview of loops.
Think about a task where you have to do the same thing multiple times. Let's say you have to clear the table after a family dinner. You pick up a plate, bring it to the sink, wash it off, and dry. Not too hard, right? But what if you have a big family and you need to do this for every family member's dish? Maybe this means repeating the same task 6 times. Computers require very specific instructions to perform their tasks. So if you wanted to tell your robot friend to do the dishes instead, you couldn't just say, "Clean all the dishes." It's not specific enough. If you want a computer to repeat the same action 6 times, you would need to write 6 separate lines of code, the same exact instructions over and over and over. So annoying, right? Fortunately, there is a way to tell a computer to repeat an action without needing to repeat all the code. This command is called a loop. In programming, loops are the third of the flow control structures and allow us to use just one command to repeat the same process multiple times and complete a task. Loops are all about keeping your code dry. Dry means don't repeat yourself. So what's the problem with repetition? Well, typing out the same code over and over increases programming time. Also, if you have to write the same thing again and again, you're more likely to make a mistake somewhere. Make your code shorter with a loop. Now it's easier to debug and saved you time. So what does a loop look like in a program? Well, in JavaScript, loops look like this. This code will loop 6 times.
But in the Code Studio, this is what we use to program a loop. And this is called the repeat block. This looper will repeat commands, put inside it a certain number of times to achieve an outcome. So, I believe you now know what a loop is. In computer science, a loop is a programming structure that repeats a sequence of instructions until a specific condition is met that stops the loop. It's coding time. Now let's head over to the Code Studio and work on our puzzles. Alright, it's very important to start by reading your instructions, the instructions given. Go get the scrap metal, BB-8. Use 5 of the same blocks to get the scrap metal. Scrap metal glows like this. So these are the scrap metals. So BB-8, which is a robot here in this set of puzzles, BB-8 needs to move to get the scrap metals. So for this particular level, we are not making use of a loop, okay, because instruction says use 5 of the same block. So BB-8 needs to move forward again, move forward again, and again, and again. Now let's watch our program run. Now, BB-8 has gotten all of the scrap metals. Notice that BB-8 could get all the scrap metals just by moving over them. Just by moving over the scrap metals, BB-8 was able to get all of them. Now let's move to the next level. Puzzle 3. If you notice, you will see that there's a question here. And we have a program here on our workspace area. The program says, or it reads, when run, repeat 5 times, don't move forward. So here we have a repeat block, and an instruction was put inside this repeat block, which is to move forward. And look at the number of times here. It says 5 times. So when we click run, this program will move, or BB-8 will move 5 times. So we have to answer this question. If this program is run, what do you think will be the answer to this? Okay, so what do you think will happen when you click run? A, BB-8 will not move. B, BB-8 will move only one space. C, BB-8 will move 5 times and get all of the scrap metal. D, I don't know. So what do you think the answer will be? Is C, BB-8 will move 5 times and get all of the scrap metal. So let's choose our answer and then let's hit the run. Ta-da! That was correct. The answer is C. Okay, now let's move to the next level. Level 4 is a video. You can watch that on your own. Now let's move to puzzle 5. Go BB-8. To get all the scrap metal, try creating a loop that uses only one block inside of a repeat block. So BB-8 is to move and get all the scrap metal, but we have to use just one block inside the repeat block. So now let's make use of our repeat. Remember, the repeat block helps us to loop instructions. So here BB-8 will have to move. Okay, so now how many number of times will BB-8 move to get all of the scrap metal? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is correct. So let's hit the run and watch our program go. Ta-da! Do you see how loop make our program really short? I don't need to keep writing move forward, move forward, move forward again, because manually repeating codes is tedious. Keep it up, BB-8. In this puzzle, 2 repeat loops will help you get BB-8 to all of the scrap metal with the fewest number of blocks. So here we have to make use of 2 repeat loops. 2 repeat loops. So let's take our first repeat loop. Okay, so BB-8 is here. BB-8 will need to move. How many number of times will BB-8 move? Can you tell? 1, 2, 3, 4. BB-8 needs to move 4 times. So we'll change this now to 4. Okay, now when BB-8 gets here, BB-8 will need to do what? Turn. So we're making use of the turn block. In these puzzles, we make use of 2 major blocks, which is the move forward and the turn left, or the turn block. Okay, so now let's make use of our second repeat loop. BB-8 will need to move. How many number of times will BB-8 move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. BB-8 will need to move 5 times. Now let's run and watch it go. BB-8 will need to turn right here. Right. Can you see? You can always correct your programs. You can always debug your programs if there's an error in the program. Ta-da! So this brings us to the end of today's class. Now let me see you complete your puzzles on the Code Studio. Your progress will be assessed there. See you in my next class. Bye.